Dear 12th standard students, today in this video class we will discuss about important topics in the lesson of dual nature of radiation and matter waves. Here, we are going to discuss about matter waves. Before entering directly to the matter waves, first we are going to see the basic introduction about matter waves. So far we learnt the concept of particles and waves. So particles and waves considered to be entirely different because particle is defined as a tiny concentration of material object, that is called particles. So particle can be defined as is a tiny concentration of material objects, but wave is defined as a broad distribution of energy. It is called waves. There are many examples of particles and waves. Example of particles like electrons, protons, neutrons, atom like a ball, sand drop. These are the examples of particles. Examples of waves, light waves, sound waves, and sea waves, ripple in a pond. These are the examples of waves. So, generally the concept of particles and waves are entirely different. How particles can be specified and wave can be specified? Particles can be specified by its mass, velocity, then energy, momentum. So particle can be specified by its mass of the particle. If it is particle is in motion, velocity of the particle. If particle has a mass and the velocity, it possesses a momentum of a particle. P is equal to m into v, energy of the particle, and that particle occupies a smaller region in space, or if particle in motion or at rest position, it occupies a definite space, definite position in space, and also it occupies a smaller in region or it occupies a definite position in space, and particle is a very small in size. But wave can be specified by its frequency and wavelength. Then amplitude, intensity, wave velocity. So wave can be specified by its frequency, wavelength, amplitude, intensity, and wave velocity. It can be represented frequency of a wave, wavelength of a wave, amplitude of a wave, intensity of a wave, wave velocity of a wave. But wave, it spread out in space. It occupies a larger region in space. That's the only difference between particle and waves. Particle occupies a definite position in space, but it is a very small in size. But waves spread out in space, it occupies a larger region in space, but it specifies its frequency, wavelength, amplitude, intensity, and wave velocity. So generally, already we learned particles and waves concept are entirely different. Then, according to classical physics treats particles and waves are different entities. It's a different quantities exist in nature. But quantum theory suggested that radiation exhibits a dual character, like wave-like properties and particle-like properties. According to quantum theory, radiation exhibits a wave-particle duality if radiation should act as a particle nature at a time, and some other time it should act as a wave nature at that particular times with the suitable circumstances. So wave particle duality was explained by quantum theory of radiation. So according to quantum theory, radiation should exhibit say wave-like properties and particle-like properties. This wave particle duality concept of radiation is applicable to the wave nature of matters. We will see in this section. See, generally, nature only contains or comprises of two entities. One is radiation and matter. Already, quantum theory suggested that dual nature of radiation, that radiation should act as a wave-like properties and particle-like properties under suitable circumstances. For example, if radiation should behaves like a wave under the suitable phenomena, which is exhibits the phenomena of interference, diffraction, polarization. At the same time, the same radiation which is exhibits like a particle-like properties under the basis of phenomena of interaction of radiation with matter. For example, photons interacts with one electron in the metallic surface. During that interaction, electron come out from the metallic surface, which is explained by the phenomenon of photoelectric effect. In this photoelectric effect phenomenon, which confines particle nature of radiation, but interference phenomenon, which is exhibits wave nature of radiation. So, under the separate suitable circumstances, radiation should behave like a wave-like properties and particle-like properties. It was suggested by quantum theory. Later, this wave-particle duality, the concept, was introduced with the matter by French physicist Louis de Broglie in 1924. The same wave-particle duality of radiation concept, which is applicable to matter or which is introduced to the matter by French physicist Louis de Broglie in 1924. Louis de Broglie, he was greatly influenced by symmetry in nature. Why? If radiation should behave like a dual properties, like wave-like properties and particle-like properties, then why should not matter? Because nature exists only in the two formats. One is radiation and matter. Already radiation exhibited a dual-like properties, like wave-like properties and particle-like properties. But why should not matter? So matter also exhibits dual character. Already that matter is a material particle. Under the certain suitable circumstances, it should behave like a wave-like properties. This bold hypothetical idea was introduced by French physicist Louis de Broglie in 1924. See, if radiation like light can act as a particles at a time, at the same time, like material particles, electrons should have a wave-like properties. You know about particle and wave. See, if radiation as a wave, under the suitable circumstances, it should behave like a particles. For example, radiation travel in the form of waves, we treat, but at that suitable circumstances should behave like a particle. But material particles like electron, that electron at a time it should behave like a wave-like properties. This kind of bold hypothetical idea was introduced by Louis de Broglie. This dual nature of radiation concept was introduced to matter, that is the concept of matter waves was introduced by Louis de Broglie. According to de Broglie hypothesis, all material particles like electrons, protons, neutrons, material particles like electrons, protons and neutrons are in motion associated with the waves. That wave is called matter waves or de Broglie waves. According to de Broglie hypothesis, de Broglie suggested that All material particles like electrons, protons, neutrons, any charged particle, uncharged particle are in motion associated with the wave. That wave is called matter waves or de Broglie waves. One important two more question is there. What is a de Broglie wave or matter wave? Very simple. If I am taking electron, that electron is thrown with a finite velocity during its motion associated with the waves. That wave is called de Broglie wave or matter wave. Not only electron, not only proton, not only neutron. Neutron is an uncharged particle. It possesses a definite mass. Travels with a finite velocity. It possesses a wave. That wave is called de Broglie wave or matter wave. That wave is not an electromagnetic wave. That wave is not a mechanical wave, but it is a different type of wave which guides the particle during its motion. That wave is called pilot waves. So de Broglie wave or matter wave, neither electromagnetic wave nor a mechanical wave. It's a different kind of waves, but that group of waves which guides the particle. This is called matter wave. This is a group of waves, smaller wave and larger in wave. So all wave encloses the particle. This group of waves is called matter waves. It's a material particle. This material particle are in motion associated with the waves. This wave is called de Broglie wave or matter wave. This matter wave forming a group of wave, that group of waves encloses the particle. That wave is called de Broglie wave or matter wave. It is not electromagnetic wave. It is not a mechanical wave like longitudinal wave and transverse waves. It's an entirely different wave which guides the particle during in motion. That wave is called de Broglie wave or matter wave. So, next, if particle in motion associated with the wave, how we find out the wavelength of a wave, wavelength of a matter wave? See, this is one particle travel with a definite velocity v. It possesses a wave. That wave is called matter wave or de Broglie wave. Then how to determine the wavelength of a de Broglie wave or wavelength of a matter wave? So we will see further determination of wavelength of a matter wave or determination of wavelength of a de Broglie wave. So dear students, now we are going to derive the wavelength of a expression for wavelength of a matter waves or expression for wavelength of de Broglie wave. So according to de Broglie hypothesis or de Broglie suggested that when material particle are in motion associated with the waves, then how we determine the wavelength of a matter wave? De Broglie took two energy equation. One is, let us consider one photon. That photon spread out in space, energy of that photon E, which is equal to h nu. In this case, photon treated as a wave. See, this is light photon. That light photon travel or propagated through the space. Energy associated with this photon E is equal to h nu, where E is the energy of this photon is equal to h is the Planck's constant, nu is the frequency of the photon. According to Einstein equation, let us consider a material particle. That material particle has a mass m. That material particle is at rest position, it possesses a rest energy. The same material particle are in motion, it possesses a rest energy addition to the top relativistic energy. But generally, according to Einstein mass energy equivalence, energy of the particle expressed as with the equation E is equal to mc square, equation number 2. This is equation number 1. This is particle. The energy of this particle can be determined with the help of this equation. E is equal to mc square. Energy of the particle is equal to m is the mass of the particle. C is the speed of light. Speed of light, C value, which is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. If photon, that radiation contains many number of photons. Let me assume only one photon. Photon in motion, each photon has an energy E is equal to h nu. That radiation should behave like a day-like properties. As a wave nature of radiation, energy of that each photon E is equal to h nu. The same thing, that photon is treated as a particle, energy of the particle E is equal to mc square. So the wave equation and the particle equation of photon is equated by the de Broglie. Both the energy equation, wave energy equation and the particle energy equation equated by the de Broglie, then h nu, which is equal to particle energy mc square. We know that in an electromagnetic radiation, frequency of radiation nu is equal to c divided by lambda, where lambda is the wavelength of photon, c is the speed of light. Photon travels with the speed of light. Substitute in this equation h nu value c divided by lambda, which is equal to mc square. C get cancelled. Then h divided by lambda, which is equal to mc. In our aim to determine the de Broglie wavelength of photon, so h divided by mc, which is equal to lambda, where lambda is the de Broglie wavelength of photon, which is equal to Planck's constant divided by dynamic mass of photon. If photon is at rest mass of photon is 0, but photon never can at rest position. If it is photon is exist, always in motion. If photon is in motion, it possesses a mass. That mass is called dynamic mass of photon. C is the speed of photon. That value C is equal to 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. So generally, this is the expression to represents de Broglie wavelength of photon. Photon is not a material particle. It's a different particle apart from the material particle. So de Broglie wavelength of photon lambda is equal to h divided by mc. It can be write in another way. Lambda is equal to h divided by m into c is the momentum of the photon p. Momentum of photon. So lambda is equal to h divided by p. In this case, we treat photon is a particle in motion associated with the wave. That wave is called matter wave. De Broglie wavelength of matter wave lambda is equal to h divided by p. H is the Planck's constant, p is the momentum of moving photon. Then the same equation lambda is equal to h divided by mc. Let me assume like a material particles like electrons, protons, neutron, some other material particles travels with their velocity v associated with the waves. How to determine the de Broglie wavelength of a matter waves for the case of material particles? Material particle cannot travel with the speed of light. It is less than the speed of light. So therefore, here c can be replaced by v, where v is the velocity of the material particle like electron, proton and neutrons. So therefore, lambda is equal to h divided by m. Speed of light is replaced by velocity of the material particle during its motion associated with the wave. So therefore, velocity of the material particle. So this is the another expression. This expression is applicable for, in the case of material particles possess a definite mass, it will travel with the definite velocity during its motion associated with the wave. That wave is called de Broglie wave. Then de Broglie wavelength of matter waves lambda is equal to h divided by mv, where m is the mass of the material particle. V is the velocity of the material particle. If Planck's constant is a constant value, h is equal to 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. If Planck's constant is constant value, then mass of the particle is constant. I take one particle, that particle mass is constant, but if it is thrown with the different velocity, it associated with the different magnitude of de Broglie wavelength or matter wavelength. So therefore, lambda is inversely proportional to velocity of the material particle if mass is constant. Or if velocity of the particle is constant, mass of the particle, we take the different mass of the particle, then de Broglie wavelength is different. In this case, lambda is inversely proportional to mass if velocity is constant. There are two conclusions from this equation. De Broglie wavelength of matter particles or matter waves, lambda is equal to h divided by mv. From this equation, we can write in another way, lambda is equal to h divided by the product of mass and velocity is called momentum of the moving material particle P. So therefore, it is another important expression. De Broglie wavelength of matter waves lambda is equal to h divided by P is the momentum of the particle. In this case, Planck's constant is constant if momentum of the moving particle is inversely proportional to de Broglie wavelength, is vice versa. So therefore, lambda is inversely proportional to momentum of the moving particle. If the momentum of the moving particle is larger value, it associated with the least de Broglie wavelength or shorter de Broglie wavelength, is vice versa. So, dear students, we finished the expression to represent wavelength of a matter waves. Lambda is equal to h divided by mv or h divided by p. Lambda is equal to h Planck's constant divided by mass of material particle and the velocity of material particles like electron, protons, neutron, any other material particle. If I am taking that different particle like photon particle, that velocity v is replaced by speed. But here material particle means if material particle is in motion, it possesses a definite velocity, or in motion associated with the wave, that wave is called matter wave. That expression for wavelength of a matter wave, lambda is equal to h divided by mv or h divided by p. P is the momentum of a material particle, moving material particle. This kind of de Broglie matter wave will have a appreciable wavelength only if mass of the material particle is very less. If mass of the material particle is less, then only that moving material particle will have a appreciable wavelength. It can be observed and also detected by with a suitable experiment. If mass of a material particle is very less value, then only will have a appreciable wavelength. For example, longer wavelength. Longer wavelength can be easily detected by with a suitable experiment and also observed with the naked eye. If mass of the material particle is large value, in assumption, mass of a moving material particle is larger value, that particle are in motion associated with the wave, that wave has a wavelength very shorter value. That least value of wavelength we cannot easily detect it with a suitable experiment, we cannot see with the naked eye. So that's why de Broglie wave will have a appreciable wavelength if mass of a material particle is less. Then we go to see all moving material particle, it possesses a wave, that wave is called matter wave. Very lighter particle, example electron, because that lighter particle in motion is associated with the wave, will have a appreciable de Broglie wavelength, appreciable wavelength of matter waves. That's why I am taking electron. Now we are going to derive the expression for de Broglie wavelength of electron. If it is electron at rest position, it does not associate with the wave. See, if material particle in motion associated with the wave. Now I am taking electron. De Broglie wavelength of electron. Now I am taking only one electron. Electron has a definite mass m. The same electron is accelerated with the suitable potential difference. This electron is accelerated with the suitable potential difference V. It acquires a kinetic energy of mv square. See, this is only one electron. That electron is a negatively charged particle. That negatively charged particle, material particle, it possesses a definite mass. That mass of electron is accelerated with the suitable potential difference V. It acquires a kinetic energy of mv square, where m is the mass of electron, v is final velocity of electron if it is accelerated by a potential difference v. So therefore, this is the kinetic energy of moving electron. This kinetic energy of moving electron, which is equal to eV. Any charged particle is accelerated by a suitable potential difference V. It acquires a energy eV. This eV is the kinetic energy of moving material particle or moving charged particle. So it's an important basis. Any charged particle, the charge of the particle E. Here, charge of the material particle like electron is negatively charged particle. This negatively charged particle is accelerated by a potential difference V. It acquires a energy eV. So, this energy possessed by a moving electron, it is nothing but the kinetic energy of moving electron. So, therefore, of mv square, which is equal to eV. This V is represents final velocity of moving electron. This V represents accelerating potential. Mass of electron, this is charge of electron. If charge of electron E is accelerated by a potential difference V, it acquires the energy which is equal to kinetic energy of moving electron. That electron are in motion associated with the wave. We are going to derive the expression for de Broglie wavelength of moving electron. So before going to calculating the de Broglie wavelength of electron, first we want to calculating the final velocity of moving electron. So therefore, mv square, which is equal to 2ev. Then v square is equal to 2eV divided by m. Then we need to calculate the final velocity of moving electron v, which is equal to square root of 2eV divided by m. So if electron is accelerated by a v potential difference v, it acquires the final velocity v is equal to square root of 2eV divided by m. M is the mass of the electron, E is the charge of the electron. From this equation, final velocity acquired by the moving electron is directly proportional to square root of accelerating potential. V is directly proportional to accelerating potential. This is important conclusion from this equation. But we want to calculating the electron in motion associated with the wave. That wave is de Broglie wave or matter wave. How to find out the wavelength of matter wave of electron? Generally, lambda is equal to h divided by mv. Already we know that de Broglie wavelength of matter wave. Here, de Broglie wavelength of electron lambda is equal to h divided by m. V is the velocity of moving electron. See the velocity of moving electron, equation number A. This equation A substitute here. So therefore, final velocity square root of 2eV divided by m. So lambda, which is equal to h divided by m, included within the square root of 2 m taken into the square root m square eV divided by m get cancelled. Then lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 MEV. Don't forget, it is another important expression to represent de Broglie wavelength of matter waves. Here, de Broglie wavelength of electron lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 mass of electron, charge of electron, accelerating potential of electron. Then, here EV represents kinetic energy of moving electron, or it is denoted by the symbol K, sometimes it is denoted by E. So therefore, de Broglie wavelength of moving electron lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 m EV, which is equal to kinetic energy, that is kinetic energy of moving electron. So from this equation, mass of electron constant, Planck's constant is constant, then de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to square root of kinetic energy. So this is another important expression, how we relate the de Broglie wavelength and the kinetic energy of moving material particle like electron. Lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 me. So from this equation, we are going to solve the many problem. There is a relation, de Broglie wavelength of electron is inversely proportional to square root of kinetic energy of moving electron. Here not electron means, take one neutron is an uncharged particle. Uncharged particle moves with a definite speed. It possesses a kinetic energy. Kinetic energy of neutron is E. Then how to calculate the de Broglie wavelength of neutron? Lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 me. In that case, neutron in motion associated with the wave, that wave as a de Broglie wave or matter wave. But we cannot use this equation to determine the de Broglie wavelength of neutron, because that equation contains charge of material particle. Charge of the neutron is 0. Here substitute lambda is equal to anything divided by 0 becomes infinity. Don't use this equation to determine the de Broglie wavelength of uncharged particle. Use this equation lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2 me. In this case, Uncharged particle possess a kinetic energy E means directly substitute that value, we get de Broglie wavelength of uncharged material particles like neutrons. So from this equation we can get the de Broglie wavelength and the kinetic energy of material particle. Lambda is inversely proportional to square root of E. Then see students, lambda is equal to h divided by square root of 2MEV. We substitute known values within this equation. Lambda is equal to Planck's constant 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 divided by square root of 2 mass of electron 9.1 into 10 power minus 31, charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Then accelerating potential is not a constant, it is a variable. That accelerating potential is varied by external system, so it is not a constant value. So V. Then lambda is equal to, you solve 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 divided by square root of these all values, 12.27 into 10 power minus 10 divided by root V meter. So lambda is equal to 12.27 10 power minus 10 meter, which is equal to angstrom divided by root V. When we use this equation, suppose we take electron, only electron, that electron is accelerated with the potential difference V, then how to calculate the de Broglie wavelength of electron? Simply we use this equation, we can easily determine the de Broglie wavelength of electron. For example, if electron is accelerated with the potential difference 100 volt, what is the de Broglie wavelength of electron? Lambda is equal to 12.27 angstrom divided by root 100. So V is equal to 12.27 angstrom divided by root 110. So de Broglie wavelength lambda, which is equal to 1.227 angstrom. So this is one simple problem. If electron is accelerated by a potential difference only 100 volt, what is the de Broglie wavelength of electron? 1.227 angstrom. So see students, it is an important concept of matter waves. Generally, de Broglie gave a hypothetical idea. Nature exists only in the two formats. One is radiation, another one is matter. Already quantum theory of radiation suggested that radiation exhibits a wave-like properties and particle-like properties. It is a wave-particle duality of radiation. Then why should not matter? This kind of bold hypothetical idea was introduced by French physicist Louis de Broglie. So therefore, dual nature of radiation, that concept was introduced to matters. It is called matter waves. So already it is a material particle or in motion associated with the wave. That wave is called matter wave. This kind of hypothetical idea was introduced by Louis de Broglie. That's why that wave has an appreciable wavelength for in the case of lighter particles. It is called matter waves or de Broglie waves. So see, in this video class, each and every seconds, you clear knowledge about dual nature of radiation and matter waves. Thank you, students.